What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and I am with Scott and James from Sweet and Sour Soccer, and I'm pleased to tell you as well that you will be seeing much more of these two on the channel. We have done a little bit of a link up. I'm going over to their channel a few times. They're going to be coming over to our channel and hopefully having a weekly series talking about the Premier League and just football in general. Their content is fantastic, and I really need you guys to do me a huge fucking favour. I've just hit 31 seconds.
You've done it.
I did it 31 seconds. Just do me a huge favour and go and subscribe to Sweet and Sour Soccer as well. Because as I say, we're sort of going to be doing a little bit of a collab and you guys need to help them. Link will be in the description below. So go and do it. And if you don't, just unsubscribe to this channel and never come back. All right, deal? Is that done? Cool. Right, cheers.
I say that on our channel when we get stupid comments, and Scott's like, "You can't say that. You can't say that. You can say what you want."
The good thing about the subscribers on this channel are they are genuinely, they all know they are amazing. I love every single one of them, and they can always give me a bit of banter about being a fat whatever, and it's cool. Like it's cool. So I love them. So honestly, I reckon I could say anything to them, and they could say anything back to me. Really, to be honest, no problem.
Well, anyway, we're gonna enjoy this then.
Oh yeah, anything.
You do realise that after about 2 weeks of working with Mike, he's going to go from 9,000 subs to about 4,000. Just let you know, Mike.
That's it. Yeah, the channel crumbles. That's it. It disintegrates in front of my eyes. Right then, so obviously you two. Introduce yourselves, fucking hell. There's no point me just talking. Jesus Christ, fucking crack on. Get yourself introduced to this lot.
Go on,
Scott,
then,
we'll let you go first. No, you start because you're the most boring. I need to save the channel, so you go first.
Well, I guess I'm Scott. We're part of Sweet and Sour Soccer. We just do. Here we go. He's doing the.
It's so
do you want to do the arm flex that you usually do as well, or are you just going to not do that one?
I'm going to save it.
We're a general football channel. We do a lot of general footballing content. We've done the latest video on next Everton manager, so go check that one out. And go on, I'll let you pass on now because you're much better at the introductions and all that.
Yeah, this is why you end the videos and I start them, because if you start them, we're screwed.
No one makes it to the end, so it don't really matter, does it?
No, true. Guys, Sweet and Sour Soccer, we've been doing it for 4 months now, and it's been going really, really well. 2 Wolves fans, but we cover all topics. Just, check our page, and there'll be something there for you as well. And we are really excited to work with Mike. When he offered us this, we couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we were a bit like, us, really?
Yeah. You've got to remember that, football... And as I see it, and as everyone knows on the channel, football's just about opinions and chats. And the three of us genuinely don't have to have the same opinions. We can all disagree. I'm really looking forward to hearing your takes on Nuno for obvious reasons, which you both can get into in just a moment. To be honest, it felt like a no-brainer from my perspective. It helps me because it gets another video out on my channel, which takes the pressure off me as well. But in return, I'm hoping, and this is out to all of you, like you subscribe. But wait, let me just change this. Let's just get rid of you a second, right? And I'm hoping that you lot go and subscribe to their channel, because that otherwise it's not going to last long. So do me a favour, go and fucking subscribe now. Do it. Go over, pause the video. Sweet and Sour Soccer now. Go on. You'll find them 2 ugly mugs over there. Go on.
Well, right, I'm going to go one further. When you subscribe to us, can you also refer us to a friend so that in a week we've got more subs than Mike? That's the plan, surely.
Jesus.
If we're going to have this opportunity, let's take it.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Right, so anyway, let's talk about fucking football. Let's get into it. Everton, Tottenham, Crystal Palace, West Bromwich Albion, if you want to say they're still a Premier League team, although they fucked it and they're not. Sheffield United, and there is another one. There is another one who needs a manager as well, isn't there?
A friend.
Yeah.
Wolves. Well, we were
Wolves,
one.
That's it. Wolves,
We were
that's
one.
it. That's it. So we can sort of break this down. Now, obviously, this video is really talking about the difference between Carlo Ancelotti and Nuno Espirito. Is it Santo or Santos?
Santo, yeah.
Just God. Just God, really.
Oh, God, here we go.
Brilliant. So this is what I'm looking forward to. Let's talk about Carlo first, because fucking hell, I'll just say what's going to happen. Carlo Ancelotti for Everton Football Club as an individual was a breath of fresh air, because he was a gentleman. You know, he's someone that you respect utmost. He's done everything in the game. And I think from Everton fans' perspective, we trusted him. However, he definitely got things wrong last season. You know, Everton finished 10th with a team that I'm not going to say we should have finished higher based on our team. I think that's unfair on the teams that finished above us. But certainly the start we had and the fact we were second at Boxing Day, to finish 10th was really disappointing. Plus, the football was absolutely horrendous. Like, I can't go into this anymore. It was shit. And I'm sort of hoping that Nuno, when he becomes the Everton manager, it won't be as bad. So can you two, between you, argue it out and tell me, is Nuno Espirito Santo the right man for Everton Football Club?
It's not even a debate. The answer's yes, and then we just stop the video. Just stop it. What this man's done in football puts people like Bielsa, who gets put on this really odd pedestal, to shame. I'll just read it out quickly. Took over a mid-championship team. Mid-championship. We came up from League One a couple of years before. Won the league in his first season. We were regarded as one of the greatest championship teams ever, along with the Sunderland team in the early 2000s, the Reading team. I think it was Steve Coppell. Just blew the league away. First season in the Premier League, 7th. So the next season, we played, I think, 61 games. Not only do we get a back-to-back 7th, he takes us to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We lost 1-0 to Sevilla, who knocked out Man United and went on to win it. And we get to an FA Cup semi-final. We were 2-0 up in the 80th minute and we're unlucky. The next season, we lose our best striker in Jimenez, who I think most fans like. I think people like Jimenez. Yeah. Injuries to Bowley, Johnny, who is one of our best players, never gives less than a 7. He's had 2 ACLs in one season, this season, and we still finish, I think, 14th. The football, could it be boring? It's boring when you lose. We did a double over City. How many teams can say that in the last 2 or 3 seasons? We beat them 2-0 away and 3-2 at home. We've beaten United, we've beaten Chelsea, we haven't beaten Liverpool, but we've beaten Arsenal at Wembley. Look at his resume in 3 years. And look at the players you've got compared to us.
Yeah, to be fair, I agree with a lot.
Fucking hell, what an argument! Fucking hell!
Well, that's it then. Argument's over. That's it. Let's move on.
He's rehearsed this, hasn't he? I've not even rehearsed the whole speech. He's done me in straight away. Now, to be fair, I actually agree with a lot of what James has said, but there's some masked parts about that. I mean, let's go to the FA Cup. 2-0 up. He then takes off all the attacking players. And we go on to lose 3-2. His substitutions in that semi-final cost us.
Can I just jump in?
Semi-final, his substitutions in general are going to massively frustrate Everton fans because quite often he gets them horrendously wrong. He doesn't make them until the 80th minute. There'll be youth players which you'll think you want to see more of, and you just won't see them. So it's not all roses. But you know what? To be fair, I think you'll get.
That was my 2 biggest gripes with Carlo.
Oh no!
You know what? When you were doing your monologue earlier of what you didn't like about Carlo, although he was a breath of fresh air, and you mentioned the subs and the football, I sat there and went, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble here."
You know what, you'll get at least 2, possibly 3 good years out of him before it starts to deteriorate, I reckon.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense because this isn't just happened with Wolves, right? It happened with Valencia. There was a story literally just before he got sacked by us where he might have just kicked himself off here so we can have a good
some popcorn.
A good little debate. That's it. Got to get
chat rubbish. I'll tell you why you chat rubbish. Because when we were 2-0 up in the FA Cup final with 10 minutes, semi-final with 10 minutes to go, it's very easy to be an after the match armchair fan and say, oh, why did he make those subs? I guarantee most fans, when we went 2-0 up in the 80th minute, are sitting there going, right, get a midfielder on. I think he brought Dendoncker on. Or make a sub. You don't think you're going to blow a 2-0 lead. So it's very easy to, after the fact, to say, oh, you got that wrong. Gerard Deulofeu scored 2 worldies in 10 minutes. What else has he done in his career? Like, you can't use that against him.
Brilliant.
Do you know what, Mike? This hasn't gone that well because this has gone so well. People will think this has been planned for weeks.
I planned it this morning.
What I was actually going to say though is like it happened with Valencia. There was a story before we sacked him where it was literally a replica. Like that, he had 2 great seasons with them. Everyone was buzzing about him, and then I think like 10 games into the next season, they were like, "Oh, he's not doing that bad in the league, but the football is absolutely terrible." He did the same thing with Porto. He was great with them to start with and then deteriorated. So it depends what you want. If you want a manager that's going to be great for 2-3 years and then maybe just deteriorate, then,
But that comment doesn't make sense. We sat next to each other in the South Bank. When we watched us go from the Premier League down to League One, back-to-back seasons, we saw that. So that was only 6-7 seasons ago. So do you know what Nuno's biggest problem is, Mike? And you might find this might be his downfall. His failure is down to his own success. That's all it was, because he did so well with us in such a short space of time. He took a dead squad this season with no Jimenez. Neto got injured. We lost Bowley for a lot. Johnny, a lot of injuries, and still got us 14th in the Premier League. Wolves aren't a big. We're not a Tottenham or an Arsenal or even a Leicester, if you can say. Do we deserve to bank a 14th in the Prem? No. 5-6 years ago, we were in League One. So how is 14th in the Prem a bad season? It's just nonsense, just talking rubbish. I have to do this.
It was more the football itself. The football itself.
He had no players. He was playing academy players.
We average less than a goal. We average less than a goal a game.
This is the content that our subscribers love.
No, but you know what? It actually starts to annoy me, because then this guy starts calling him like a clown and all this. It's just it's so disrespectful. Like, honestly, it's like, I don't know. Have we done enough now? Can I go? Because it annoys me.
Oh, bless him. No, so right. So let's just sort of finish this argument then. Everton are going to give Nuno, by the sounds of it, a 3-year deal. And I'm assuming that Everton are going to back him financially to a degree. I could sort of see maybe this season Everton not backing him as financially as they were going to back Carlo Ancelotti for a few reasons, but one being financial fair play. Yeah. However, there's no doubt Everton need... I think it's fair to say if Everton want to compete with where the owner wants us to get to and where obviously the fans want to get to, Everton are nowhere near that, and we've saw this season that we're 10th. The squad is too thin. We play really well at times, but we sort of run out of steam. One of the big things that I, from an outsider, look at Nuno is I always look at the Wolves team and I always think, fucking hell, they are fit. Like, they will go and go and go. Is that genuinely the case with Nuno?
Yeah, it is. To be fair, Nuno prefers a small squad. What he doesn't want is deadwood sitting around the bench and stuff like that. He doesn't want players that, like, senior players hanging about. He will have a small squad, and we've had debates about this before. We think he perhaps wanted a bigger squad than what he actually did get given at Wolves, but he'll get you guys playing consistently well. I think a 3-year deal will be perfect as well. I think you'll see the best of him. And for all I was like, it's time for Nuno to go with Wolves, I actually think he's going to do really well for you. I think what he's going to do is he's going to play a 5-3-2. Let me have my chat. 5-3-2. You'll use Digne and who do you have on the right? Because I was
we need a right back.
Doesn't it?
We need a right back.
Yeah, so
that's one of the areas we'll start
right back. You'll play 3 in midfield, and then you'll play Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, providing you can keep hold of them. Because I know you said that potentially Richarlison's doing one to Real Madrid, isn't he?
and I'm not necessarily against it either. So,
Oh, really?
No, because I think we'll replace him in Neto.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
If you do and you play him as a 2, that's a bad thing. There's a few points I want to make. One, we discussed this on our Everton video about potential suitors. Conte was on there, Moyes and Nuno. If he can get a 5-3-2 going with your midfield and Richarlison and DCL, look what he did in Europe and domestically with Jota and Jimenez, relatively unknown players. So there's one question mark over Nuno, and it's not a negative or a plus because we don't know, and that is Mendes. He has such an influence in our club. We don't know what signings were Nuno, if any. We really don't know that, and I think me and Scott can agree on this, can't we? To this day, who did Nuno want and who didn't he want?
Yeah, so the big one that's come out is apparently he would get offered a list of clients, and often Nuno would opt for the Mendes one rather than others that had been presented.
Mike, how do you know?
I mean, we've also been led to believe that it was a mutual agreement that he wanted to leave and he wanted time out to go see his family. Well, that doesn't make sense if he's now going to potentially sign a 3-year deal with you guys. So, you know.
Mike, how does it work at Everton at the board? Do they give managers normally the chance to sign their own? Or like Silva, Ancelotti, these types of managers? Or is it board controlled?
I think it's very much. So the thing is with Everton, and you see Everton as like an enigma. No one actually fucking knows what goes on behind those doors. Like, We've got a director in football in Marcel Brands, and yet I'm still hearing reports that it's Mashiri and a person who's got 1% of the club in Bill Kenwright who are going to be deciding the manager. Now, that doesn't make sense when you've got a director of football who is actually on the board. Like, it's not like he's just got a job. He's a board member at Everton. So that doesn't make sense. The signings, if you look at Marcel Brands' signings under Marco Silva, they were horrendous. Like, I'll stand there and be slagged off as much as anyone wants, but they were horrendous. We lost Garner Gay to PSG, and we lost Kurt Zuna, who finished his loan from Chelsea to us. And he replaces them with Gabarmin, who gets injured, and we've seen him for about 26 minutes in the last 3.5 centuries, and Iwobi for 35 million.
Man.
So under Marco Silva, I think Marcel Brands was led by who he could sign because of the type of manager that Everton had in place. Because who the fuck wanted to play for a Marco Silva who got all relegated, looked like he was doing really badly at Watford in the end? Yeah. Who wanted that? So then you go over to this side and Carlo Ancelotti, and this guy manages to pull out Ben Godfrey, Alan, James Rodriguez, and Decore. Now, it's difficult to say who signed who, but if Marcel Brands gives a list of names to Nuno, firstly, because of the Dutch connection, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a few Dutch links in there. And I think you'll find out very quickly at Everton who it wants to sign who based on the names and equally the nationalities of the players that Everton sign. Another big thing for Everton will be what happens with Andre Gomes, because he is Portuguese and we haven't seen the best out of him since we signed him. And I don't know what he's going to sort of take. You know, I don't know how he's going to deal with it, to be honest.
Yeah. He'll be starting
every week up front on his own.
If you've got any Portuguese players in the academy, you expect to see them in the starting lineup as well.
What I think you need, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you do struggle with not as much long-term injuries, but players seem to come in for 5 games and then just you don't see them for a month, whether it's fitness or just little niggles. Yep. Even Scott will admit this, and it's just not down to Nuno. If you get his whole backroom staff, which I think you mentioned that's the rumour. If you're getting the physios, whatever medical teams may come onto the back of that, wow, because we've broke records, I think, in regards to, we broke the record in our first season for playing the exact same lineup for consecutive games. I think it was, wasn't it 11, Scott? 11 straight games with the same 11. And we went on a mad run.
Even more than that, yeah.
We were like 5th in the league after like 13 games. So not just 2 or 3, but also Connor Cody played something like from when we got promoted, he played every game the first season. And was it like 33 games the second season? Same as
he played 99, wasn't it? I think it was something like 90. Yeah, he was one away from our record.
Yeah, so a lot of our players, unless they get mad injuries like ACLs, which you can never predict, we do get players. Nevers plays 60 games. I mean, he's got João Moutinho. The guy's been playing since like 1970. He's playing 50 games a year. So, if you get the whole package with Nuno, you're getting more than just an accomplished manager.
Yeah, and I think what you will get, Mike, is especially for your reactions as well. You'll be absolutely joyful when you beat City 2-0, and then the next week when you lose to Burnley 1-0.
That is a very similar reaction to this season, where we lost to Sheffield United, Fulham, Burnley, Leeds, Newcastle. We lost to some poor teams this season. Actually, you were one of the very few teams that we managed to do a double over this season.
Well, that was with Nuno in charge.
You've beat us quite a few times since we've come back up here.
Apart from the time you beat us 3-1 at Goodison. That game was horrendous.
That was a good day. Our first game with you when we first came up 3 years ago was a 2-2 draw. First game of the season at Molineux, and then we lost to Man City.
Oh, that was it. The free kick that was 10 yards further forward. Fucking hell, don't I remember that?
It was Neves' free kick, top bins.
Fucking hell, I remember that. Right, so, guys, we'll leave it there. So just for complete clarity, you both think Nuno is a good fit for Everton right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. If you are winning boring games, but you get into the top 6 next season, and the next season you're in the top 4, which, let's be honest, it took us from mid-table championship to European quarterfinals. I think something special will happen with Nuno, and I think Scott's going to eat his words from what he said for the last 3 or 4 months.
And
Scott.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think he'll get you into Europa. I don't think he's consistent enough to get you into the Champions League.
Well, can I just say, just the fact that you've said that and you've laid that gauntlet now means that all of the Everton fans who have watched this now are going to be constantly just coming back going, oh, you were right. Oh, James, you were right. Oh, Scott, you was right. Honest to God, you fucking watch.
Imagine we get it both wrong and you're like sat in like 15th in a few.
You get relegated.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. It's Everton Football Club. Anything could happen. Brilliant. Right, guys, I'm leaving it there. Have a fantastic one. This video, I don't know, it depends if the thumbnail's been made. I don't know when it's coming out. So if you're watching this before the England game, let's hope we've won. And we're going to win. And if it's after the England game, who are we playing today again, by the way?
Romania, is it?
Yeah! Up England, we've won. We've won the game 3-0. Yeah, fucking hell. So, yeah, guys, we'll leave it there. Make sure, for fuck's sake, listen to me, subs. Make sure you go and subscribe to these two. Just do it, please. Please, 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 please. Right, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care.
I'm going to be, again, I'm saying this. I don't know if my video is coming out before or after yours, but I will be on their channel. So if you're watching this and their video's out, go over to their channel and watch it. We're doing like a 6-a-side thing, aren't we, for...
It's like an England draft. It's a live 6-a-side choosing from the England squad. We go live at, Scott, 4 o'clock?
4 p.m, yeah.
4 p.m. 4 p.m.
4 p.m. we go live. So if this video's out before then, make sure you go over and watch the live draft. And if it doesn't, make sure you go back and watch it after. Okay? Peeps.
Boom. Take care.
There we go.
Brilliant.